Hey y'all, it's MJ from Alta Love, and so hopefully I'm going to keep this update pretty quick, but I'm making a commitment to do daily vlogging on YouTube. I've pretty much already made that commitment to Facebook, so I do a lot of Facebook Live updates, and I'm getting a lot more creative editing and making videos and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really making a commitment to this daily updates and daily shares. So today, what's really come up is when we are faced with blocks in our lives and the energy that it triggers from within us and the varying levels that it hits us. And basically I wanted to talk to you about some practical tools and things that I do and continue to expand doing in my life to clear the way, as it were. So whenever, and this is very like real time in our realities, when we're faced with obstacles, when we're faced with challenges, when we come up against conflict, and again, the practice of mindfulness and non-reactivity in how we manage ourselves. And it's okay, we react and we have those situations, but practicing getting better at being mindful. And even with this situation this morning, I there were some triggers and some perceived obstacles, and so I really felt the intensity come up. So I'll just share with you really practically what I did to clear the energy and then put myself back in that space, and also very much, clearing, energetically speaking, feeling that fear or that terror or that panic come up, and then meditating. So instead of keep continuing feeding it and talking about it with everybody and feeding that drama, noticing it's there, and then pulling in, dropping into self, dropping in with your own conscious awareness to harmonize whatever energetic force field has come up and been triggered from within you. So the first thing that I was called to do after I started to feel the energy just calm down and I was sort of more aware of, okay, what's going on here? The first thing I did was, so I travel with sage, a little like sage ball, and it's outside right now because I just did the ceremony. So I basically went around and I saged my entire environment. I saged myself as well. So I took action in as far as like, because basically, the thing happened, and then I went outside, and then I got that inspiration. Okay, and I could feel it. I could feel the density when I came back into the environment. So I got my sage, saged everything, saged myself, and then opened all the windows to really kind of clear the energy in my space, in my environment. And then I got my crystals out. I carry like a bunch of different crystals with me. So I get them out and I'm literally guided to certain crystals, and I create a grid on bed right now where I'm now like sharing this vlog with you. So I set up the crystal grid and I drop into meditation, and I sit with the energy, and I sit, obviously there's like varying thoughts going through, and I just keep sitting with it was heart energy for me. So I just kept sitting with that energy and feeling the waves and feeling, I guess you could say, like the different perspectives and also the different dynamics of these varying energy flows going through. Things like fear of authority, things like, the system, because I invoke that and I bring that in because of some of the content I talk about. So if that trigger comes up again, it's like, okay, do the work, really work with that vibrational reality, clear the way. And ultimately, when you focus on the breath and you start to physically, like energetically speaking, clear it out just through detachment and letting go and breathing lightness into that area, you literally can feel the path being cleared. And that has to do with your own consciousness, which is obviously, creating on multiple levels. And so as you move through, you can unblock the energy resistance coming up through the creation in the situation, and then basically work through it energetically so that you can obviously find a creative solution. Magically somebody changes their mind and lets you go, or new people come into your reality. So that's the potency of recognizing in meditation, recognizing what you're really doing when you're sitting in meditation, and how you work with mindfulness. It's that deeper understanding that everything you see is ultimately an energetic vibration and creation from within self, and that's a connection that you have within self. So you're working with consciousness. You're kind of like, you have to almost imagine that your reality that you see is more like a hologram, or more malleable than what we originally get impacted with. And so you're dissolving those impacts, you're dissolving those falsities, those illusions of fear, in order to uplift yourself and uplift your reality and clear the way. But crystals, if that resonates with you, even things like incense can help clear the energy, but sage is a definite one. I'm pretty sure I came across, as you do, an article about, even science. So sage is something used in many tribes around the world and different cultures for the same practices. And then even science can now prove why the burning of sage in an environment can help clear the energy. So sage is awesome, crystals, if that resonates, and just the diligence of meditating. Again, so instead of choosing to perpetuate, like, oh no, this situation is so bad, recognize the energy behind that story, pull into yourself, drop into meditation, and basically meditate until the energy clears. That's again that kind of flip side of the law of attraction teachings and positive thinking, but ultimately positive thinking can just mask deeper energy that sits in us. And so you can end up in denial and all that kind of stuff. So this is sort of a broader aspect of doing transformational work, is sitting with the depth of your emotional body, and being brave enough to work with, quite, like, again, it feels like fear, it feels like panic, it feels like terror, and you're like, yeah, freaking out, just being like, wait, who, like, what's going on, what is this energy? And often you can actually talk to it and it will say it's fear, or it's anger, or it's panic, and you might get a memory or a flashback or something like that that gives you clarity of why you're feeling what you're feeling and why you're unconsciously perpetuating those cycles in your life. And then eventually you clear it out. And the better we get with meditation, the better we get with this deeper understanding, or this perspective shift or paradigm shift, the easier it will become. And it does, it does get easier the more you practice. But there you have it. I'm committing to you daily vlogging, daily insights, also just like random personal, creative, fun stuff to inspire you to live the fearless life and to love yourself enough to really work through the fears that you carry and the blocks to your own divinity, your own creatorship. So I love you loads. I hope that was useful to you guys, and I'll be seeing you really soon. Take care. Peace out.